VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, how much does and should politics play in your consumption of anything as far as entertainment goes? And I guess a secondary question would be is, at what point should or do, because these are two different things, and please, let me know in the comments, but at what point should you separate the art from the artist, so to speak, and where shouldn't you? Where is it okay to say, you know what, this person did something so egregious, or whatever the case may be, I can't separate the art from the artist? This comes piggybacking off of Trump being on Undertaker's podcast. I haven't heard the podcast or anything like that. I guess Trump is going to be on Rogan, even though I'm still talking about how the conservatives really shitted on Rogan just for being an RFK guy, and then RFK ends up linking up with Trump, and now Trump's on Rogan. That was fake, and that was very fake. In any event, the main event, pun sort of intended, is about the Undertaker has a podcast. I think it's called 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway, his real name, and we all know the Brothers of Destruction, or at least wrestling fans. His on-screen brother for like 20 years, it had to be more than 20 years, was Kane, who real name Glenn Jacobs, is the mayor of Knox County in Tennessee. That includes Knoxville. I don't know if he still is. I believe he still is, and he's been a Republican. So really, their political views, and Undertaker's from Texas. You could have implied, again, Kane is a registered Republican office holder, and Undertaker being from Texas and being somebody who's really close to him, it's a safe bet where his political leanings lie, right? So that notwithstanding, a lot of people are upset about Trump being on his show. And before you cuckservatives, and I called you cuckservatives this time, before you go, oh, you know how the left is, the cancel culture. No. You're the motherfuckers who threw away some shitty beer that no one else on earth would even drink in the first place over some she. And you're the ones who are throwing away actors like Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, aka the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, and a lot of other voice acting he's done. And Robert Deniro, one of the greatest living actors of the past 50 years. You've thrown him away for having political views, for not liking this orange man. So it's not just don't do that. Oh, the left. No. You're just as guilty as the same thing. If somebody doesn't align with your politics, you have no problem throwing them away and they're not that good. And I'm not that guy, man. There are reasons, and I'll probably get into, depending on how long this video goes, where I will throw out an artist. Fuck it. I'll just do it now. R. Kelly, great songwriter, great musician, one of the best R&B singers of all time, but I cannot listen to his music given the context of what he did more than anything. When I hear, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes, and I know you've been trafficking young women for like 20-30 years, I can't listen to it personally, right? I just can't. But going back to the politics, I view politics aren't that deep. You know what I'm saying? You can have whatever political view you want, man, or ma'am, or whatever. It's not that deep. It's not worth throwing out someone's body of work just because you don't agree with their views. To me, you may have a different view. And let me know. But to me, I think too many people allow politics to affect their real life, and it shouldn't. Neither political party cares about you. I know a lot of people don't like the both sides, but both sides are fucking evil. I'm sorry. They're fucking evil. I guess I lean slightly more right, but they're evil. I'm not going to die on the hill for that orange man. Fuck him. You can suck my dick. All political parties. Kamala can suck my dick. She would have had some power. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy to lose, something I value, including like a relationship with a family member, over politics. It's asinine to me. It's asinine to me. If you have, that's your business, and sometimes it may be unavoidable. if they do that to you, if they just say, oh, you don't agree with me politically, and they shun you, that's not on you. But I think it's a stupid reason to shun someone, whether you're talking about somebody in your personal life or whether you're talking about somebody's entertainment. If you are not going to watch Batman, and like, I'm a huge fan of Batman the animated series. I'm a huge fan of the Star Wars movies. I don't care what Mark Hamill said about Trump. Trump's not my dad or my uncle or my cousin. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Robert De Niro, I mean, you're talking about Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Goodfellas. I'm throwing all that out because he doesn't like Trump. The Undertaker, one of, if not the greatest wrestlers of all time. I'm going to throw all that out because he does like Trump? Nah, man. Not me. Not me. But, I can understand if, let's say, O.J. Simpson, man, you can't watch his highlight. His highlight tape is probably still dope. But if you can't watch it because of what he did, or Chris Benoit going back to wrestling, technically in both cases there's conspiracy theories. We're going to leave that alone for now. I do want to do some conspiracy theory talk at some point on this channel, but I'm going to leave that alone. Let's just go with, and both OJ and Chris Benoit situation, let's go with the above ground, everyone knows, widely reported stories in both cases, in which both men killed their wives, and Chris Benoit also killed his son and himself. So I understand if you can't watch their content because of what they did. Now, granted, I can watch a Chris Benoit match, mainly because what he did, even though it is a violent fake sport or act, it doesn't quite correlate with what happened with his family, to the same extent that an R. Kelly and his music does. His music is very sexual of nature, and what he did was a sex crime. So that's why I have an issue, listening to that music, knowing that. But what do you say about anything in regards to separating the art from the artist? And what do you think about the political divide? I mean, in 2020, a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, fell out with their families. They fell out with their families over politics, something I would never do, and I vowed not to, because I don't know that most of my family necessarily agree with my politics then, and probably don't now. I don't know, but I'm not going to make it an issue because it's not that important. My relationship with my family or friends is more important than some political view. And my love of the art of Mark Hamill and the art of Robert De Niro and Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker, and Kane, throwing them in, shout out to Glenn Jacobs, I'm not going to throw them away for their political views. Not me. You know what I'm saying? Political views are not that, everyone has their own view. It's not the end of the world to me. I know that the past 8 years plus, maybe you could go 10 to 20 years. You can really go back. I would say Bush is when it really started, and it just escalated each one. In Bush, then Obama, it got a little bit worse, and with Trump, it really got worse as far as the political divide and you having a positive opinion or negative opinion of a political candidate, meaning that was a reason to lower your value in someone's mind as far as your morality. You're morally wrong because you like or don't like XYZ candidate. I would say Bush, and then Obama, and then Trump, and then Biden, and then Harris, Trump. We'll see what happens. That's another can of worms. I'll probably do an election stream, by the way. So if you're watching this before the election, it won't be about the election. It'll just be a game stream. We'll just hang out, talk shit. I'm sure the election will be brought up. But if you want a non-election election stream in a few weeks, I will be doing that. Otherwise, what do you think? Is politics a good enough reason for you to throw out an entertainer or a family member or a friend? You tell me. You tell me in the comments. I don't know. I appreciate you watching. Peace.